If you're looking for the latest Georgia Bulldog recruiting buzz, this is the video to watch. There's a lot going on right now. Players are going to be taking visits throughout the month of March into April. A lot going on. I think the Dogs are trending for a lot of big-time prospects right now. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down little insider scoop, some recruiting buzz details about some prospects on offense. Originally, I just wanted to make a video of insider notes from across the class, but I said, no, I got to break up. There's too much going on. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about different prospects, where Georgia sits with them, which guys will be on campus in the coming weeks, because there's a lot of them. So let's dig into it, right? Let's go. First off, let's break it down by position, okay? So let's start with the quarterbacks. There's 3 quarterbacks to keep an eye on right now in the 25 class. Of course, Julian Lewis is the prize. 5-star out of Carrollton. Dude's incredible. He really is. He's had a monster first 2 seasons with the Trojans. Reclassified. He's the number 2 quarterback prospect in the country. He's currently committed to Southern Cal, if I could say that correctly. Committed to Southern Cal, but watch the Dogs here. I still think there's a chance Georgia could flip this young man now that he's reclassified to the 25 class, and Georgia only signed 1 in 24. If they can meet the recruiting needs, the NIL needs of this young man, I think they can really, make an attempt for a flip. He's going to be in Athens on March 14th. Definitely got to know. And so is Matt Zollers out of Springford, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Mike Bobo offered him in January. He's going to be on campus this week. He's a guy to know. Threw for 63% completion percentage last year, just under 3,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions up in Pennsylvania. Also ran for 430 yards, 7 touchdowns. He can sling it. This guy's got a live arm and he can run. Bigger kid. He can play now. Number 8 quarterback prospect in the country, number 85 prospect in the nation. The kid's big time. I think Georgia likes him a lot, and I think Georgia might be trending for him right now. They could be the team to beat. They're in his top 4. I think he wants to make a decision this summer, maybe sooner, but he's going to be on campus in Athens, I believe in April. He said he's going to be down there. He just doesn't know when. And Ryan Montgomery, a quarterback out of Findlay High School in Ohio. His brother goes to Ohio State, but he's visited Georgia several times. I believe he was last there in late January. Mike Bobo's known him and for a minute now. He's been a guy that's always been on their board in the 25 class. So he's one to know. They know all about the Dogs and what he could accomplish in Athens with all the talent that would be surrounding him if he were to go there. So those are 3 quarterbacks to know. Running back's a big time question mark right now. New coach Josh Crawford coming in. He was a long-time high school football coach in Georgia, coached at places like Jefferson, I believe Colquitt County, Lee County, maybe a few. I could have got that wrong, but he's a good recruiter. Did a great job at Western Kentucky, then was at Tech, and Kirby hired him for a reason. They've got Bo Walker, 4-star running back on the commit list at Cedar Grove. He's going to take some visits. We'll see if he opens up his recruitment. He was close to Dell McGee, who's now at Georgia State. Dell McGee's at Georgia State. We'll see what Bo Walker does. Usman Chrome out of Lee County is a guy to know. Alvin Henderson from South Alabama. I don't think Georgia's going to land him right now, especially with the new coaching change. Georgia was already trailing Florida State and Auburn for him. And then Ackland Deer is a 4-star from Mississippi, Quitman, I believe, Quitman, Mississippi. Guy to know, but right now things are up in the air with that new recruiting running backs coach. So we'll see where they go. At wide receiver, James Coley's in. He's a recruiter. He's not calling plays. He's a recruiter, and he's a good one. I think Georgia still sits in a really good position for Travis Smith, a 4-star wide receiver from Atlanta, Westlake High School. He's going to be in tough for G-Day. We'll see if he makes an appearance in March. Still need to try to get the latest on him. But 6'4", 185, ball skills, body control. He's long. He's athletic. Big player. I think the other outlets moved him up to the number 1 wide receiver in the state of Georgia a little bit after I did, but that's okay. They got it right this time, but I've said for a while, this is the best receiver in Georgia, and now it's nice to see everyone else agreeing. But I still think Georgia's in a really good spot for him. CJ Wiley is another big body pass catcher out of Milton, helped lead them to a 7A title. I think Georgia is growing more and more on him and vice versa. I think he's high on Georgia. I think he's climbed up their board. But he's a big in-state receiver to know. Cameron Sparks is a kid out of the Baylor School in Chattanooga to keep an eye on. Cortez Mills, Lagonza Hayward I hope I didn't butcher that, but he's an in-state kid that they most recently offered. And there's a couple more guys on my list right now that is already on Dawg Post. So if you want these other new wide receiver names to know, why don't you head on over to the website? It'll be the smartest thing you ever did, ever. So go check us out over on Dawg Post. You can do that by signing up to our free newsletter. That link is down below. It's free to click the link. It's free to sign up to the newsletter, and it's free to read these stories. It's like 5 stories right now on Dawg Post on the front page alone that are free. So check us out. There's a lot of info just like this. Of course, I could go on and on and on. There's a reason I'm going to do another video like this on defense. So much scoop, a lot of scoop, and the scoops are over on Dawg Post. So make sure you read more about those receivers that Georgia fans need to keep an eye on. You can read that over on the website. Let's talk about the offensive line. Let's talk about the offensive line because this is a loaded group. Said that for a while. Said it on multiple videos. Across the country, across the state, 2025, loaded with linemen. And after taking 6 in the 2024 class, they can be selective here. I think they still want to take 5 offensive linemen. They don't necessarily have to. They can take 4, but I think they'll still take 5. But they're still going to go after the best of the best. That's what Georgia's going to do. You can't fill your offensive line with 5 stars. Occasionally, you're going to have to get a couple 3s that you really like if you want to take 6 of them and some 4s and try to go for those best. But that's what they're going to do in this class. They're going after David Sanders hard. I think that's a Georgia-Clemson battle right now. The number 2 player in the country, number 1 offensive tackle prospect. He's elite. And I had one Georgia coach tell me, we all think that guy's the best player in the country. And they're almost right. They probably are right. He's the number 2 player in the country, but they are really high on him. Lean, athletic, can really move, like 6'6", 280, maybe. He's thin. He's going to keep growing, putting on more muscle, but he is fluid. He's got quick feet, long arms. He's how you draw it up. Out of North Carolina, Providence Day School, but I think Georgia's in a good position for him right now. And Josh Petty, dude, that kid's a beast. That kid's a beast. We saw him play. He was playing on both ways to start the season this past year as a junior for Fellowship Christian. He's a kid in Roswell. So if you're in the Roswell, Alpharetta area, big Georgia fan, you like high school football, go watch Josh Petty play. Massive hands, all muscle. He's lean too. He's lean, but he's got a ton of muscle. One of the 5-star handshake. 5-star handshake, no doubt about it. He crushed my hand when I first met him. And I remember that type of stuff. You crush my hand, that's gonna stay with me. He's got big paws, and he's a 5-star. He's gonna be in Athens on March 16th for a visit. Probably gonna give them an official visit, I think, in the summer. Hoping to get another update on him soon over on Dawg Post. Jalen Matthews, number 12 offensive tackle in the country. He put Georgia in his top 6. I think Georgia could be trending for him. He's a kid up in the Northeast. You can read more about him on an article right now that's free over on Dawg Post. I don't want to give the entire scoop of him over on YouTube, but check us out on the site and read all about it. Juan Gaston Jr., massive, like 6'8", 330. He's a guy who's going to have to lose a little weight when he gets to college compared to guys like David Sanders and Jalen Matthews and Josh Petty, who have the ability in the frame to put on more weight. But he is a very good athlete at 330 plus. I think Georgia's trending for him too. I think Tennessee's in a decent spot. I think South Carolina's in a decent spot. But if Georgia pushes for Juan Gaston, I like their chances. And with Cortez Smith, he's a big-time guard out of Parkview. He's going to be in town on April 4th for an unofficial visit, and then he'll be back June 21st for an official visit. He's the number 9 guard in the country. He's thick. He's got solid lower body strength. Great kid who started as a freshman. He's going to be starting for 4 years in a row at Parkview, 7A ball. Kid's very, very good, and I like Georgia's chances for him. Mason Short, number 13 guard in the country. He's from the Augusta area, has ties to the Georgia program, former Alabama commitment. He's another in-state guy to keep an eye on. State's loaded. They're going to go out of state for a couple of these offensive linemen, but after that, they can really stay in the state if they want and sign a terrific offensive line class, and that's what I expect them to do. At tight end, Ellis Williams, 5-star tight end from Camden County. A guy to watch. He's going to take other visits. I know he's visited Florida State a couple times. But I think Georgia and Todd Hartley probably need to keep recruiting him like he's uncommitted. Got to keep him on board. He's a special player. length and athleticism, dominates on the basketball court, but he's a big target in the passing game at 6'7", and has a very high ceiling, but Georgia's going to have to hold on to him. Ethan Barber, one of my favorite players in Georgia for the 25 class at Alpharetta High School. He's on the commit list too. He might take other visits, but I think he is pretty solidly locked into Georgia right now. They got two of the best tight ends in the country, but if something were to happen, keep an eye on Marshall Pritchett. He's a longer, kind of leaner tight end from Raven Gap up in North Georgia. His dad, I believe, played at Notre Dame, and Georgia's got their eye on him if something were to happen to the other two. So those are just some inside scoop on players on offense. You can read more about these players and more over on the website, so make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you on the website.